Okay, so if you don't know anything about this, let's catch you up real quick. There's this game, and I will be using the term extremely loosely here. I don't really think this thing is a game, but I just don't want to call it software for the rest of the video, okay? So this game is blowing up on Steam right now. It's called Banana. It's just a picture of a banana and you can click it. There's nothing to it. When you click, a number goes up. So why are currently 800,000 people playing this? Because this game drops Steam items, which you can sell for Steam Wallet money, which you can use to buy games. So technically, by using this, you can buy games for free. And I say technically, because to actually buy a game, it takes years. And this is possibly the slowest method to get a game ever. After this game started picking up steam, several YouTubers started talking about it, which drove hundreds of thousands of people into the game, which made more people talk about it, which drove even more people into the game, generating a feedback loop that brings us to where we are today. Most of the videos on this game are okay. Some are pretty bad, but the worst I've seen personally is Cr1TiKaL's, which is the one we'll be going over. I picked this one specifically because it is so hilariously wrong, it's kind of hard to believe.
There's a scam game on Steam right now called Banana.
We start right off the bat with calling the game a scam on the title and the fourth spoken word of the video. This has to be some sort of record. Being wrong any percent, 20 frames. Very nice. This category is probably dead.
That has over 630,000 players as of me making this video right now. And it is by all definitions a scam.
And in just 10 seconds of video, Charlie managed to make a statement so stupidly wrong is actually hilarious. The thing is, this game doesn't qualify as a scam by any single definition of the word. There is no way to legitimately call this a scam. And to see why, let's go through 6 different dictionary definitions of the word scam. According to Google, a dishonest scheme/fraud. So where's the dishonesty here? The people actually losing money to this are people buying the bananas. No one associated with the game claims the bananas will go up in price or somehow make you money, which of course they won't. So why are people buying them? Well, we'll get to that later. But the point is, there's no deception, dishonesty, or lying here. The game is exactly what it advertises itself to be, a PNG of a banana that you click, and over time gives you banana PNGs you can trade with other people. Let's go to another definition. This is from Merriam-Webster. Scam, a fraudulent or deceptive act or operation, to deceive and defraud. As we said before, banana doesn't fit this because there's no deceiving going on. This is Cambridge, a dishonest plan for making money or getting an advantage, especially one that involves tricking people. Collins, a scam is an illegal trick, usually with the purpose of getting money from people or avoiding paying tax. There's nothing illegal here, and no tricks. Vocabulary.com. A scam is a sneaky or dishonest plan that's meant to con someone. Here's Dictionary.com. A confidence game or other fraudulent scheme, especially for making a quick profit. This game is in fact making quick profit, but there's no fraud here. In Britannica, a dishonest way to make money by deceiving people. So this game is not by any single definition of the word a scam.
The Spiffing Brit just made a great video going over this entire scam.
The Spiffing Brit did make a video on this, and it is actually one of the better ones. Let's go, Charlie! Something about this video had to be correct at some point. And that's the thing, he fully explained everything. So instead of straight up telling people this is a scam, he actually went over everything that's happening, and that lets people make their own mind on if they think this is a scam or not. Unlike Charlie, the Spiffing Brit actually did some work and didn't just call this game a scam on the first 20 frames of the video. He called this game a scam once after explaining the whole thing. Of course, this is still wrong, but after calling the game a scam, he said this.
Steam wallet funds as they can humanly enjoy. Now, one of the reasons that makes me a little bit more concerned that this is a scam is because the creator of this game has set their inventory to private when it was previously public. This is a little bit of a problem because it means that it is impossible to see how many bananas hitting the marketplace are actually from them, meaning it's very hard to tell just how much Steam wallet value they're able to make off of this game.
Which implies that if the devs aren't doing that, which is actually a possibility, it's really a stretch to call this a scam. And I want to make clear, it really is a possibility that the devs are doing that. But given that they're making real money off this game in bucket loads at this point, I don't see why they would. It would just be a really nonsensical move. Also, this particular dev who was accused of other scams, he has released his own statements, which you can go check out if you want, and has been removed from the dev team, which, by the way, how does this shit need a team to develop it? What the fuck? But whatever. He was removed and his inventory is now public. He could have still sold all his bananas already. This doesn't exonerate him, but there you go.
And now, 3 days after that video came out, it's even more popular than it was when he covered it back then.
Of course it is more popular. He exposed it to millions of people. Of course, no matter what you say about it, a certain percentage of those people will go try the game. Now, when on top of that, you account for the fact that this game will make you free money because there are people that for whatever reason will buy your worthless banana drops for pennies on the Steam marketplace, then it really isn't a surprise that people flocked from that video to the game. And of course, right now, you're doing the exact same thing. People will flock from your video to the game. When Charlie made this video, the game was sitting at 600,000 and now it's 800,000. The game would have continued to grow naturally at this point, but I'm sure some of that growth we can attribute to Charlie. Now, we'll see that Charlie will try to keep his viewers away from the game with lots of unnecessary demeaning words, but we'll get to that.
Which is so interesting to me because he fully explained how this scam works, and yet people are still just flooding in to enthusiastically buy into it. It's like if you had read the headlines about Sam Bankman-Fried, like scamming billions of dollars away from just your average Joe, and then you're like, alright, I'm gonna do my business with Sam Bankman-Fried, I can't wait to get on this, and then you throw your arms up in the air like, oh, how did I lose money? Where did I go so wrong?
No, it's nothing like that, actually. FTX was a literal scam. FTX said it didn't touch customer funds and that they had the money available if users wanted to withdraw. Those were lies. There was deception going on. Despite telling people through several means and several times they weren't using customer funds for anything, they gambled with them. They lied, deceived, and maybe even schemed, and therefore scammed the people who had their funds in FTX. Unlike the harmless banana game that is just selling worthless PNGs to people with more money than common sense.
It's more pathetic than anything, honestly.
There we go with the demeaning words. If you're interested in checking this out, you're now pathetic for some reason.
The spiffing Brit took the scam, spanked it around, threw it on the bed, bare ass, butt cheeks in the air, and still people dove in to give it a rim job and are wondering why they have shit on their mouths now and lost money from it.
He really didn't, though. He just explained how everything worked. There's no scam going on, and it's not surprising that his video aroused people's curiosity and drove them to the game. I really would be surprised if there's a large amount of people losing money from this. The only people I can imagine losing money are either people that think the bananas are somehow going to appreciate in value, or people who run Steam Marketplace bots, which are now buying bananas in bulk because of their popularity. In either case though, while yes, buying these bananas is dumb as fuck, nobody's actually getting scammed. I think there is a third type of buyer, which are people buying the bananas, the regular common ones, in bulk. I have no clue why they do this, but I'm sure there's several people right now with over 5,000 worthless bananas on their Steam accounts. If that makes you happy, good for you, I guess. I don't judge.
You have only yourself to blame and you absolutely deserve to be made fun of, which is what I'm here to do. Heroes, not a word I like to use often, but I think what I'm doing here today is very heroic and brave. Someone has got to insult you for what you have done, if you are one of these people that are buying the fucking bananas in this game.
Very heroic. Insulting and putting people down for enjoying a stupid banana PNG game. Truly heroic. This man is just basically the MLK of our times.
But in the banana game, you get banana skins, which aren't even usable in the game. There's actually no functionality to even take that skin and use it in the game. The developer says he's going to do that at some point, but I highly doubt it because he doesn't need to. He's still just printing money from this dog shit from the absolute imbeciles, the fucking idiot buffoons that are buying into it.
As far as I know, nobody ever called them skins.
This should ring some bells here because it's very similar in concept to the NFT craze from a few years ago.
The thing is, yes, this is similar to what happened with NFTs. As in, there's people purchasing, spending real money on worthless PNGs. But NFTs were really, really expensive. You also had to account for the extremely high transaction and minting fees. And all this stuff made these PNGs trade in the tens, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars, which made people think these things might actually appreciate, which gave the opportunity to scammers to make fake projects by the dozen, in which they could directly lie to people, pretending they were building this huge project and promising video games, movies, merch, franchises, and whatever you could imagine, only to rug the project and take all the money from people who thought they were investing in something. Something to keep in mind too is that these people were promising returns. They promised people these things would appreciate in value and promoted this as a savvy investment decision. In contrast, these are just fucking banana PNGs that nobody with half a brain cell would think of as an investment. And they aren't being promoted as such. On top of that, all you would get from this is Steam wallet balance. You can't even get real money from this. Yes, you could theoretically use your Steam balance to buy CSGO skins, which you could then sell on a dark market for crypto that you could trade for real cash. But anyone who knows about this knows that every single one of those steps comes with transaction fees, which means that to make an actual profit on this shit, you would have to sell your banana for such a ridiculously higher amount than you bought it for. And at that point, you'd be better off investing in sand.
It's the same concept in the banana game, except this one's working significantly better because they found much more vulnerable goobers here. Gamers. So the gamers here are buying these banana skins.
So gamers are retarded, okay? And they're now being targeted. It's not like they were targeted by NFTs to the point that Steam had to outright ban them. Right. Great points all around there.
So you're buying these banana images from Google Images.
Come on, man. Give these people some credit. None of these bananas were in Google Images before the game was out. And it's not like these are hard to make. So why lie about this? Are you really that hell-bent on making this game look much, much worse than it actually is? Why? Just why?
And you are squatting on them, hoping that for some reason down the line, someone's going to pay you more for that. Just because. That's the entire scam in a nutshell.
Now, put yourself in the shoes of the average Robinhood user. You're buying GameStonks, a digital asset, and you're hoping that in the future, someone else buys it from you for more than you bought it for. Just because. Yes, these digital assets do have a real company behind them, but come on, you're not fooling anybody. You're not doing fundamental analysis. You're buying GameStop stock because of a meme you saw on Twitter. Would you say you're being scammed then? Yes, you're not being smart in the way you invest your money, that's for sure, but nobody is forcing you to do this or trying to convince you that it's a worthwhile investment.
Now, it's impossible to know just how much they've made from this game so far, but I have to imagine with over 600,000 active players, it's a pretty penny.
Yes, they made a ton of money from this. And by the end, I estimate it's going to be around a couple million, depending on how long this banana fever lasts. This is actually one of the things I love about the internet. It's so unpredictable. Sometimes something really stupid happens and it devolves into some sort of mass psychogenic illness. People start liking an egg on Instagram. People start talking with Ugandan accents and clicking their tongues. And now people buy worthless banana PNGs for stupid amounts of money. And about a year later, we all collectively look back and cringe at the shit we used to think was so funny. At the end of the day, as long as nobody's getting hurt, who cares? Who is this banana game harming? Who is dropping their life savings on the banana market hoping to make it big?
And there are legitimate people, like actual living, breathing, sentient beings that are purchasing some of the expensive bananas. Like, there's this one guy on Twitter who keeps celebrating that he bought one of the special bananas for $53. I don't know if he bought it as a shit post or if he actually believes he's going to make some money off of it or not. But regardless, that is shameful.
What do you think you're doing? Spending money for a stupid meme? You can't enjoy this. You should be shamed because you're clearly a subhuman piece of trash. You know, this dude is probably just someone who earns pretty decent money $50 isn't that much money to him, and he can afford to spend that money on a stupid meme to just post it on Twitter and laugh at it. Does he really deserve to be shamed in front of 2 million people?
Everyone loves to think that they're 5 steps ahead of everyone else. They're the fucking anime protagonist. No one else had the genius scheme to conceive such a high-level mastermind idea of using an auto-clicker and virtual machines to open multiple instances of banana to get maximum banana drop potential.
Huh. Everyone else thinks they are the anime protagonist, guys, but I am different because I am the real anime protagonist, because I can see through all of these worms who think they're so smart. I pity you, you dumb scum.
And I guess none of them realize that all of those rare banana drops that are going for like tens or even hundreds of dollars in some cases are unobtainable through playing the game right now.
Yeah, of course you can't get any of the bananas that literally say doesn't drop anymore. I think people that open this every like 3 hours to get a drop are just hoping they will get one of the rare current bananas that they might be able to sell for $1 or $2 on the Steam market. This consumes like no resources on your computer, and you only have to open it for 3 minutes. Click once every like 3 hours. So I don't really blame people doing this. I don't do it myself, to be clear. I think just working a job is more reasonable and efficient way of purchasing my games. But if this is worth doing for you, I won't shame you over it.
So to all the delusional crypto bros who got burned on NFTs and are now just suffering from terminal fear of missing out and latching onto banana.
Actually, it's most likely not. I think most people that already lost a substantial amount of money and really latched on to failing NFT projects because they thought it was their only hope, I think those people would run at the sight of anything reminiscent of NFTs. But nice job making fun of all these desperate people that lost all their money. What a nice guy. Most likely, a huge percentage of the people botting and playing this game are kids that don't have any money and are hoping they get lucky and can somehow get enough money to buy a game they want.
You cannot make money through this game, just like you cannot get a date. It's just not happening.
You can make Steam balance through this. It's a really slow and efficient method, and there is an infinite amount of better ways to do it, but you can. And don't worry, you can get a date. No matter how grim things might seem now, there is someone out there for you, and you will find them one day.
The only thing you can do, I suppose, is continue to get fucked by this weirdo developer as you're his little piggy bank to continue to exploit through this awful dog shit.
How is this exploitative again? People having the game open are spending no money and are generating about 1 cent a day, maybe. The developer only gets their share, which is also 1 cent when the banana gets sold. The only ones losing money are the people who, for whatever reason, are buying these bananas willingly. How is this exploitative?
But one thing I'm not wrong about is how much of a cringe loser you have to be to actually think that these are wise investments. If you are someone that is buying and selling banana Steam inventory images, you deserve to be spit on, 100%.
Honestly, if you think this is a wise investment, I don't think you should be spit on. I just think you don't really know how markets or trade works. And it's great you're learning this with 20-cent bananas instead of with $200,000 monkeys.
You are a loser, 100%. And you need to take a hard look in the mirror.
Now that is irony!
It's a fucking joke. It's a terrible, terrible joke that the creator's making a ton of money off of.
Yep, the creators are indeed making a lot of money. And as far as I've heard, they are using the money to actually capitalize on the opportunity they've been given and are going to keep or maybe start developing an actual game. I was told there is some sort of banana crafting system coming where you can use your regular bananas to make or roll for higher rarity bananas. And honestly, I hope they're telling the truth and that they actually add more stuff to this banana thing. And I think gamifying the Steam drop system is a cool idea. And if done properly, I see a lot of potential in it. I want to be clear. I'm not saying they will do it, or even that I think they will do it, or that I think these bananas are worth anything. I personally don't think this is worth my time, or almost anyone's time. The only reason I have this banana thing on my Steam account is because I used it to join their Discord and ask who was buying all these 3-cent bananas. And just fucking why. All the answers I got were, it's probably bots, and because I want bananas, lol. It was kind of a surreal experience. There was a voice channel where people were muted, streaming their banana game with counters on the 100,000s. And it was like 9 people doing this at a time, all muted, nobody saying anything, for hours on end. In a way, this whole banana thing reminds me a bit of the Supreme thing, where they were selling stupid shit like bricks. It's really stupid to buy it, and a lot of people bought it because they thought the brick would be more expensive in the future, but nobody was being scammed. They advertised it as a brick that said Supreme on it, and that's what it was. It also reminds me a bit of, I don't know if this is a global thing, but when I was a kid, there was these stickers that came with albums. The albums weren't blank, they just had the numbers on where you should paste each sticker, and the objective was to get every single one to fill the album out. Now, these things were completely worthless, and they were sold for like a pretty penny. I think it was like $2 every single pack or something like that, and it came with like 6 stickers. And of course you had a rarity system and whatever, and at the end of the day we were just kids buying absolutely worthless stickers for a shit ton of money. I remember I filled one of those albums. It was a Pokemon one, and the same day I filled it, I closed it, put it on a shelf, and never remembered it existed again. At some point my mom grabbed it and threw it in the trash. So what was all that money for? Well, I have so many memories of fun times trading these stickers with my friends, playing games for them. I remember one of the games we would play was this like really skill-based game that we would, wager on, and we had a whole like rule-setting phase, and then we would actually play the game. And it was so fun. Like, people would gather around you and everyone would look and be so excited about, when there was big wagers happening. Like, I remember some people would wager like 50 stickers at a time. It was insane. And at the end of the day, it was all just for fun. Those stickers didn't have any more inherent value than these stupid bananas. But if people want them for whatever reason, just let them have them. There's no scamming going on here. So I think that's about it. This was just a ridiculously bad take from Charlie. But I guess when your video consists of you just yapping whatever comes to mind after having watched a single video probably just once, this is about the best result you can expect. So thanks for watching. Bye. While I was working on this video, Second Wind's Frost came out with what I consider to be the right take on the banana game. I challenged myself to make this video as fast as possible, and I think I didn't make my points as clear or as well as I would have liked to. So if you didn't really get some of my points or what I was trying to say, I recommend watching this. I basically agree with all of his points.